It's the 3rd of May, and this is your Monday Microdose. Welcome back, friends. Welcome back. Happy Monday. Hope you're all doing well. I have a slowly emerging optimistic feeling this morning. Why is that, you say? Well, I've spoken before, and some would say at length, about the lack of choice in the world of components. And there's a company out there that's just nibbling around the edges. And it sort of reminds me of those bygone days of yesteryear when Suntour was losing relevance by the minute. Shimano was in its ascendancy, and they were trying to duke it out with Campy. And there was a little company at that time that was nibbling around the edges, trying to make themselves a bigger player, back when they just went by the name of Gripshift, which, of course, was and became SRAM. The company that's doing that now is Microshift. And Microshift has been around for quite a while. And I started hearing about this new 10-speed, wide-range 10-speed group that they'd come out with. And I was hearing good things. And initially I was a little skeptical because Microshift, like I said, has been around for a while. And I've sold, they had a, STI-like dual control lever that would replace your Rode, Shimano Rode dual control lever. And they weren't great. It was better than nothing, obviously, if you've got a broken shifter, but they weren't great. And more recently, we've seen a lot of their bar end shifters, which also, I think the new ones that are designed for one-by are working better, but the ones that were showing up on the long-haul truckers back in the 9-speed days were not great, which I never really understood, but they didn't work that well. So I was a little skeptical. But I had heard from a couple people, you really need to try this new AdventX. It's really working well. So I've got a Rivendell that I'm building. In parts being what they are, hard to find, I decided, well, I'll get a handful of these sets. So you've got a rear derailleur, you've got a shifter, and you've got two different cassettes. They're both 1148. One's got a steel carrier and the other one's got an alloy carrier. Now, it's black. I mean, there's no getting around that anymore. Is the finish great? No, not particularly. I mean, it's not bad, but it's also not terribly expensive. It's a medium cage derailleur. It's got a clutch. And if you pair that with this trigger shifter, I mean, it works really well. I set it up and it just worked. And it's not terribly expensive. $77 for the rear derailleur, $65 for the cassette with the aluminum carrier. The steel carrier is going to be a little bit less expensive, obviously, and $34 for a shifter. I mean, I didn't do the math, but that's right around 200 bucks. Less than 200 bucks. And like I said, it works. And it's yet another option. The marketplace always finds a way. Whenever the big boys decide that no one wants a certain thing, this or that, and they stop making it, somebody else is going to come in and fill that need. And I think that's what Microshift has done, and they may be in a position now that SRAM was in the late 80s and into the 90s, where they're just starting to make a little bit of headway. Now, if I had my druthers, I would make one change to this setup, and that is I would like the shifter to come off the bracket so that I could, if I wanted to run that thing on a drop bar, you know, I could use a Paul clamp or a Problem Solvers clamp or a Box Components clamp to mount it where I wanted. But that's a pretty small disagreement. That's about the only thing I would change. The stuff works great. And, you know, Grant Peterson was famous for saying, with regards to gears, 7 is heaven, 8 is great, 9 is fine, 10, okay, but really? Well, I think 10 speed has just become the new 8 speed. And if you've got a frame and you're looking for some parts, which are, you know, obviously hard to come by, I think that this really deserves a look. I do have about 4 sets that I do not have on the website because I want to make sure I have some parts when frames come in. But if you've got a frame and you're in need and you want to buy a set, yeah, shoot me an email and I'll see if I can't help you out. Hope everybody has a great week. If you've got the notification bell rung and you're watching on Monday morning, thank you. Let's make the most of the day. And until next time, be nice, work hard, ride bikes, play music when you can. I'll talk to you soon.